What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. I am in the beautiful city of New York still, having great conversations, creating great content. You know what's so unfortunate? That I probably got to leave tomorrow. Most of the time when I'm booking my flight tickets, I don't necessarily book a round trip ticket. I book a one-way ticket because I don't know when I'm ready to come back, and a lot of it is just based off of whatever I feel like at that moment. So we've been here for a few days now, and we've been having a good time, and cold pressed juice, it looked like that's popping. Might have to look into that from a business perspective. But I want to talk to you guys specifically about your online presence. A lot of people think that just because they jump on a panel, or they may not necessarily have a channel, or they don't have a huge presence or things like that, that they can get away with moving however they want to move. Oh, it's my Facebook, it's my Instagram, it's my YouTube. I should be able to do and say whatever it is that I want to say. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to be absolutely, positively transparent with you. Hiring managers, small, especially smaller companies and startups, but including larger companies, they look at your social media and your online presence to get a better feel for who you are. Let me say that one more time. They take into consideration what they see online in order to better understand the person that they're getting. Now, why shouldn't they? Why should they separate what you're doing online from the person that they think that they're getting on the resume? The resume don't even mean anything anymore. It's just a formality at this point. As a matter of fact, if your resume doesn't reflect more intimately on LinkedIn than it does on that PDF or piece of paper or a Word document that you have, if it doesn't more accurately reflect what is going on there, then you're losing anyway. Real talk. Also, on top of that, your network is going to be the way that you go about getting more of the opportunities that you want before you ever submit a resume and get one anyway. So that's a whole nother conversation, but I want to talk more about your online presence. I would say since probably the late 2010s, I haven't applied for a job since then. Of all of the jobs that I've had, and I haven't had a whole lot, because I also believe that you need to stick with a place for, I don't know, I would say at least 2 to 3 years before you start job hopping, depending on where you are in your process. I think that you need to make sure that you don't have that many gaps or that many jobs in between a specific time before you start looking for another position. Although we all know that job hopping can be good as far as you leveling up, but you just don't want to do it too often and too early without having some level of stability. But why shouldn't they check your online presence to see how you operate and how you move in order to determine whether or not they want to hire you? Now, I've gotten to a point in my life personally, and again, I haven't applied for a position since the late 2010s. All of the positions that I've gotten either has been a part of me being a part of my network and the people that I surround myself with, or they've actually recruited me from noticing who I am and playing along with that as a result of me being online. Now, whether that was on Facebook or social, Instagram, mostly YouTube, but me having that presence, and they take the good with the bad. And I also got to take into consideration, hey, Anton, how many opportunities have you missed out on because you chose to move a specific way? I'll give you this, right? Let's say this. I'll say that prior to me creating After Hours and the Millionaire Morning Show and Fight Club and all of that other type of stuff, what I presented and what I put together online is completely different than what I'm doing now. Even with regard to the businesses that I built, even the first restaurant that I had built, now I'm just a silent investor, or the majority of the things that I get into outside of what I'm putting together with the Bag Chasers, I'm a silent investor. I don't necessarily attach my name to it, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was very, very concerned and worried about my image, or when I start having really real conversations online and I start really saying what my thoughts are, which was one of the reasons I created After Hours in the first place, which turned into the Millionaire Morning Show. I was very, very aware of how that was going to impact me. And so when I decided that I wanted to get out of visibly owning a restaurant, for example, that was a strategic decision, both from a lifestyle perspective, being able to allocate more of my time towards my other businesses that was actually generating more revenue, and from a content creation perspective, I said, okay, now that I'm retiring, because I had retired from corporate America in 2019, towards 2019, and then I didn't even know the pandemic was gonna happen. But now that I was retiring from corporate America, I felt more confident and had more autonomy to say and do the things that I really wanted to say online. I was very strategic. Man, they're redoing a lot of structures here in New York. I was very strategic in the things that, or how what my new online presence, once it transformed, was going to affect me once I started putting out different content, right? Fortunately, I still have great relationships, and I still get contacted because people overlook some of the things that happen online, or some of the content, or some of the conversations that I'm a part of, modern women, relationships, and all of that, in order to tap into things from a business perspective, which is one of the reasons why I'm in corporate America again. And, I got recruited. But let's be clear, I was very focused and very, very very much aware of how my online presence and how I presented myself, including every post that I would participate on Facebook, and even the comments that I would leave, every post on Instagram. I even would refuse to join certain platforms just because I wouldn't want that level of visibility, or, I didn't truly understand how it was going to affect my image when I was trying to get to a certain level, right? All I'm telling you is that what you do online is more of a resume than what you present to somebody when you're applying for a job. The first thing that I do when I'm looking to find out who a person truly is, and I'm trying to figure out either whether I want to do business with them or I want to hire them for a particular job, is I go online and I do a deep dive, or I have my people do a deep dive now, to find out exactly who you are and what you've participated in. And you wouldn't believe the amount of information that you can find and pull up, even all the way down to the different comments that you leave on other people's stuff. It is there. It is easily able to be found, and you cannot hide it or put it away. So I would suggest to you, depending on what it is that you're trying to do and the levels you're trying to do a good scrub, a really good scrub. And when you considering having certain conversations going forward, be careful the things that you say and how it is that you're going to do things, right? If you don't care and it don't matter and you already rich and you got there, because see me, I'm at a space now where it doesn't even matter anymore. I can do and say what I want to do without having to worry about it. Then that's cool. Don't worry about it. Just chill. But if you're actually still trying to get there, you're young, you're trying to accomplish things, you're trying to get up in corporate America and all that other type of stuff, be a little bit more focused. Be a little bit more careful on how it is that you're moving, and don't always assume that you plan it the right way. You might be playing it wrong. It might not be going well for you. It might not be what you think it is, all right? I'm just letting you know. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We're doing some phenomenal things there. And if you need to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com, and we're going to get you set up. All right? I love you. I'm going to holler at you later. Peace.